Good evening. Welcome to Thai PBS English News Service. Tonight you're with me, Rungtip Chonapalai. Today, the Truth and Reconciliation Commission of Thailand, or TRCT, agreed that the committee will award 7.5 million baht in compensation for each family of victims who died during political unrest, provided that they did not commit any crime. The TRCT also insists that the reconciliation plan should not be implemented now and suggests that the government should hold a public debate first. A TRCT is suggesting that the government launch a public debate allowing every sector of society to express their opinions on the reconciliation research carried out by the King Prachatipok's Institute. However, the TRCT insists that MPs and the political sector have the right to propose the reconciliation bill direct to Parliament. The TRCT will award compensation payments to about 1,600 victims of political violence. The TRCT says the victims must not have committed a crime. If any victim has already received money from the government, the TRCT will pay the balance. The TRCT will pay out the compensation by the middle of May. Initially, the victims will receive 3 million baht in cash and 4.5 million baht in the government savings bank's lottery. After an intense debate in the parliamentary meeting today, the legislators approved the list of qualifications required of the members to be appointed to the Constitution Drafting Assembly. Today, the Parliament approved the qualification needed for the appointment of the 99-member Constitution Drafting Assembly, or CDA. Prospective members must be born Thai, be at least 35 years old, and have a house registration in the province they are seeking to represent, or have lived, studied, or served as a government official for at least 5 years. The prospective members, however, are not required to hold a bachelor's degree. Meanwhile, those who are interested in serving on the CDA must not have politicians, senators, or House representatives, permanent public servants, government employees, or employee of the state's enterprises. Although the Democrat Party proposed disallowing people who were politicians prior to the CDA appointments or who have the intention to become politicians after the CDA appointments from seeking a position in the Constitution Drafting Assembly, the proposal was eventually rejected. The government has approved a total budget of 24.7 billion baht to be spent on flood and water management projects. Singburi province, heavily affected by the floods last year, has now received approximately 440 million baht to build and renovate a dike and sluice gate, as well as for dredging a canal, all in an effort to deal with a large amount of water expected to reach the province again this year. Here's more from Kun Kankorn Raktham.
The government has approved the budget for a water management and flood prevention plan for Singburi province ahead of other provinces because Singburi has already completed the blueprints for dike and sluice gate construction. Singburi is one of the first high flood risk provinces to complete their flood protection plans. The Department of Public Works and Town and County Planning, or DPT, in Singburi and the Irrigation Department are jointly developing the flood protection projects, while the DPT is undertaking the dike construction. The Irrigation Department is responsible for sluice gate renovation projects and dredging of the canals. As Singburi province located in a high flood risk area, a 2.5-kilometer dike here along Chao Phraya River is now under repair to prevent the province from a potential flood this year. This project is expected to be completed by August. The 2011 flood damaged the dikes along Chao Phraya River, so this year the DPT has spent approximately 126 million baht on the dike reconstruction. Saksit Sirirattanyu, a civil engineer from the DPT, says he has used sheet piles to build stronger dikes to prevent excessive escape of water from Chao Phraya River from flooding the city. the renovations of Bang Chom Si and Prangam sluice gates, as well as dredging of the Lam Mela and Pranon Chaksi canals, are urgent projects under the management of the Irrigation Department. Seri Kongrit, a director of the irrigation projects in Singburi, says the lessons learned from the 2011 floods are serving as guidelines for the renovation of the two major sluice gates to enable effective control of the flow of water. Another project under a water management plan of Singburi province is the sluice gate renovation. Here is Prangam sluice gate, and this project is already completed. Singburi province is always flooded during the rainy season because it is located on low-lying land, and residents say they can deal with floods as long as the water levels do not reach extremes. Karngorn Raktham, Thai PBS.
Thank you, Kun Karngorn. The Bangkok Metropolitan Administration, or BMA, is to dig up the road surface to investigate reasons for the sinkhole which appeared on Rama 4 Road on April 21st. Meanwhile, officers have found another sinkhole on the outbound side of Rama 4 Road. Mamrachawong Sukhumpan Boripat, Bangkok's governor, is demanding the 43 million baht work to repair the concrete stanchion of Thai-Belgian flyover is speeded up. This bridge has been in use for 15 years. The Department of Public Works of the BMA has begun repair and maintenance on 42 flyovers in the city, costing 168 million baht. Meanwhile, officers from the Engineering Institute of Thailand, or EIT, will be digging a 3-meter deep hole to reach a water pipe on Rama 4 Road from starting at 10 p.m. on April 21st, completing the work by 4 a.m. on April 22nd. Officers also found another sinkhole almost 1 meter deep and 5 meters wide on the outbound side of Rama 4 Road, which they hope to repair within 1 week. As for the sinkhole found near Charonkung Road, near the Charonkung Pracharak Hospital, officials have already finished repair work near Payathai Road in front of the Bangkok Arts and Cultural Centers. The scorching heat today caused Thailand to reach a new record for electricity consumption. This is the fourth time in 2012 that EGAT announced a new peak in consumption. The Electricity Generating Authority of Thailand, or EGAT, says power consumption hit a new peak today, the fourth time this year, this time reaching 25,178 megawatts as temperatures hit 37.2 Celsius at 2:30 p.m. The last peak was registered on Thursday. Thailand's maximum production capacity in 2011 was 31,447 megawatts. The new high was a result of the hot and dry weather yesterday, where some areas of the country saw the mercury highs as high as 36.8 degrees Celsius. EGAT is asking Thais across the country to check their electrical appliances, as the power producer claims people can save 10% of national electricity consumption through the careful uses. The average electricity demand in Thailand over the past 2 years has seen a 10.6% increase. 52% of power in Thailand is produced from imported fuels, which accounts for 9 billion baht of expenditure annually. The business sector is asking the government to postpone the implementation of 300 baht minimum wage policy in the remaining 70 provinces for 3 years and help business operators, particularly SMEs, to find sources of low-interest loans. At the meeting between the Labour Ministry and related agencies today, the Secretary General of the Office of Small and Medium Enterprises Promotion affirmed that SMEs are being severely hit by the rise in the minimum wage because they are bearing the higher labor cost when, in fact, the sale prices of their products remain unchanged. Instead of adjusting the minimum wages in the remaining 70 provinces to 300 baht all at once, which was originally scheduled for January 1st of next year, the business sector is urging the government to introduce the increase gradually over a 3-year period. At the same time, business leaders hope the government will help them find sources for low-interest loans. Additionally, the business operators are asking the government to review its policy of standardizing the minimum wage across the country to see whether it is appropriate for Thailand, since the cost of living differs from one province to another. Padamchai Satsomsap, Minister of Labour, says that he would like to study the details of the proposal first, especially because there are many types of SMEs. The minister, however, suggested that the government's policy of reducing the corporate tax rate and corporate social security contributions are already helping business operators. Furthermore, Padamchai urged business operators to understand that the minimum wage has not been increased proportionate to the cost of living for at least the last 10 years. The ASEAN Economic Bank, or ADB's economic forecast, stated that the Thai economy will likely to pick up this year, but will face risk factors related to the world economy. Meanwhile, Myanmar has opened up for the more trade and investment opportunities, boosting Thailand's opportunities as a hub for this region. Earlier, I spoke with two ADB's economists. Here's more.
I would say we see quite a positive outlook for the economy as a whole and also for investments in Myanmar. Now, that being said, there are also still many constraints ahead. There are still several obstacles if you want to do business in Myanmar. And these include still many restrictions. It's still very difficult, for example, to establish new businesses. There are still many import restrictions, import licenses. The exchange rate, despite of the recent reforms, is not completely unified.
Right.
And that creates still many constraints for business. Well, in terms of the impact of what is happening in Myanmar for the Thai economy, we see also a lot of positive impacts. There's going to be incredible amount of opportunities actually for Thai companies, for Thai investors and for Thai exporters. Most of the population in Myanmar don't have still refrigerators, they don't have televisions, they don't have cars. There are also going to be opportunities in the financial sector, for example, and another sector where we believe that there will be huge opportunities is tourism. Of course, Thailand is already a hub for tourism, and many tourists that are coming from Europe, from the US, from Japan will probably come through Thailand. So that will have a direct positive impact into the Thai economy.
The opening up of Myanmar will do good for Thailand, I would say. For example, if we think of AEC as a one production base, then each country in AEC is one production base. Thailand can move up the value chain, and then the lower skill industries can go to neighboring countries. This will do good for Thailand.
Following the Cabinet's approval of the importation of 40,000 tons of crude palm oil, PTT is now charged with the responsibility of sourcing CPO from Malaysia and will prepare to import the oil next month. Here's more.
The first 10,000 of 40,000 tons of crude palm oil, or CPO, will be imported from Malaysia at a price not exceeding 30 baht per kilogram. The order will be placed on May 1st, and the oil is expected to arrive in Thailand 4 to 5 days later. Police Major Sarawut Sakunmirit, director of the Public Welfare Organization, says that PTT is responsible for locating and managing the shipment of CPO, which will arrive at a port in Prachuap Khiri Khan province. Meanwhile, quotas will be assigned to cooking palm oil producers based on their production capacities. The first 10,000 tons of crude palm oil to be imported can produce 6 to 7 million 1-liter bottles of cooking palm oil. The government plans to import a total of 40,000 tons of CPO after cooking palm oil producers sought an increase in the retail price of cooking palm oil, which now stands at 42 baht per 1-liter bottle. The producers claimed their rising costs, namely the price of crude palm oil, are the reason for their need to increase retail prices. The government, however, disagreed in an effort to curb the increasing cost of living, hence the need to import cheaper CPO.